Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and or listening to the podcast, and welcome to my house. It's time for another ServiceNow Store highlights video. That's SSH version 06212024. You may have noticed I was absent last week with episode 06142024. You can see on the blue box there, it was another big release by ServiceNow, a bunch of fixes mostly. You can kind of see that, or fixes and minor updates. You can see that in the chart here. What I've done is I've combined last week's episode with this week's episode, giving us a new total for today's episode of 260 new or updated applications. So you're getting 2 weeks in one, because it took me a while to go through the 234. But essentially, looking at my notes here, there were 26 new or updated apps in this week's episode, or should have been in this week's episode, but when we combine it with last week's, it's 260. So lots going on, lots of good stuff from the ServiceNow Store. Summary-wise, we have 8 compatibility updates, 84 fixes, 1 ghost or removed application. We'll check that during the episode, make sure that's still the case. 30 highlights. I'm hoping I can get through them all with my voice intact. 95 minor updates, 13 new releases, and 29 release notes failed. So let's jump right in, take a look at those compatibility updates. You can see them on the screen. If you're listening, I'm going to read them to you. We have Core ALM Connector for SAP Solution Manager, Charm, and ServiceNow. INRI Expense Management. Integration Framework from Kumari Technology Services. Kyndryl integration for Azure DevOps, Umnitza, Umnitza, Talent Run, TrueSite GRC integration, and the last one is vulnerability response integration with Nozomi. Those were all compatibility updates. I think, if I recall, they were all mostly to Washington, D.C., maybe a lesser version in there, but mostly Washington, D.C. Let's take a look at these 84 fixes. I'm not going to try to read these, but I'm going to scroll through so you can see them. A lot of them obviously are from ServiceNow. In fact, that might be a good group by the company name. 79 of them are from ServiceNow. Let's take a look at the non-ServiceNow ones. InfoBip Omnichannel Conversational Messaging. Under WrapDev.io, we have CSDM as code. Under Rubric, we have Rubric RSC ITSM integration. TM Labs, DeepL Translator Service Spoke by TM Labs. And then lastly from Yansa Labs, Postmaster Email Routing. So that's like the non-ServiceNow stuff. But let's take a look again at that ServiceNow. We'll just scroll through here. And while I'm scrolling and moving through the pages, sorry if you're listening, I'm not going to read these, but if you go to my blog, justin.house, that's https://justin.house, I'll have a blog post for this episode, SSH v06212024, and all of these applications that are in the episode will be there. They'll be grouped in the categories that you're hearing or seeing in this podcast, and there'll be clickable links to the store, so you can go straight from my blog post to the store application, and you can search in my blog post, all that stuff. So that's a good way for you to get your hands on those. And now we're on page 4. So that's 80. What did I say? That's 79 ServiceNow applications. Let me remove these filters now that we've gone through that. And there we go. And I'll just put my group by back on, and we'll move on to another bunch of things. Well, let's actually look at the Ghost application. This is the Employee Experience Pack Seasonal Worker Lifecycle. It is still a Ghost application. It did disappear. So that means it's no longer in the store. It's been removed. So if you're using that, that might be important to you. If not, then you shouldn't be impacted. Minor updates, a lot of these as well. Let's do the same thing we did for the fixes. We're going to group by company name, and we can see the bulk of it, 79, same number, right, as the fixes. 79 of them were from ServiceNow. We'll go through those at the end here. And let me do this a little bit differently. I'm going to remove my group by, I haven't done this before, ungroup by company name, and we're just going to filter out ServiceNow and go through what did I say, minor updates? Yeah, minor updates. All right, so here we go. AI-powered search and knowledge recommendations by Coveo, AWS Managed Services, AMS, Connector application, BitSite for IT service management, Carbon CTRL or Carbon Control, Control Assurance, Cognito app for vulnerability response, Delinea Credential Resolver, IBM Z Discovery, Onapsis Vulnerability Integration, Service Graph Connector for Juniper MIST, Simple Data Separation, Turbonomic Actions. Scroll down for the last 4 here: unacceptable behavior case management, zero fox, zoom in, and zoom in for agent workspace were the non-ServiceNow minor updates. All right, so let's go look at the ServiceNow ones. We'll get rid of that. And now we're back to the full 95 applications, and then we're just going to show matching on ServiceNow. Again, I'm not going to try to read these, but I'm going to scroll through, do my same PSA, head over to justin.house. You're going to have all of these listed in the minor update section with hyperlinks to the ServiceNow store. Please hop over there, give that a look. Not please, if you're interested. I don't need you to go look at the blog post. It's not a big deal to me. But I try to put that up there so it's convenient for you coming from this format of either audio or visual. All right, let's get rid of the minor updates filter. Let's rejigger this to how I had it before. And we'll move on to our next category, which is release notes fails. There were a lot of them, mostly because it was a bunch of stuff in the previous episode that we've combined in this episode. Again, I'm not going to read 29 of these, but you can see the bulk of them were from ServiceNow. What ServiceNow did is basically a bunch of fixes and patches for their applications, and not all the teams were great about putting in what they fixed or what they patched, or if there were enhancements, they didn't list out what the enhancements were. But there's a couple non-ServiceNow vendors in there too. So that's the release notes fails. We won't dwell on that. If you've not seen the show before, a release notes fail means there's no release notes, or there's repeated release notes, or I can't get any context for what's new or what's updated so I can make it part of the show. That leaves us with the good stuff. We have 13 new releases in this episode. Let's get started on the first one. Aria Billing Studio, subscription billing automation and access for ServiceNow customers. On the key features for this one: viewing detailed information on subscriptions and add-ons, investigating subscription bills and related service usage, seeing exactly what the customer sees on their bill, analyzing service usage to make appropriate recommendations and changes. They did have some screenshots. First is the Aria Billing Studio, which looks like a workspace, and it's showing the A with a bunch of zeros, 3 cleanest cars, and we're on the usage metrics tab. That kind of looks like a dashboard. We got some line graphs and some pie charts. Next screenshot is still in the Billing Studio, showing the open billing cases and all active tasks. Next screenshot is showing the still in the workspace, showing the billing history as a column bar chart and a speedometer for the average bill value. Next screenshot is a list of supplemental plans, still in the workspace. Next up is a list of usage history for cleanest cars. And next is the invoice line items for basic business internet plus cell, and the phone numbers listed there. And then we're back to our original first screenshot that we showed at the beginning, and that's what's new from Aria Systems Inc. Next new release is going to be the CrowdStrike Falcon Identity Protection for Security Operations, Triage Identity Protection Incidents. Key features: it offers Active Directory security visibility into all account types with insights and analytics, and detects identity-based attacks or anomalies by comparing live authentication traffic against behaviors and attack patterns. SIR incidents are created in the ServiceNow platform, which correspond to identity-based incidents from CrowdStrike. We do have screenshots on this one. Let's take a look. First is the identity incidents. It's a list view of identity incidents. Next screenshot is an actual identity incident showing the affected entities as a related list at the bottom. Next screenshot is also a security incident, basically the old security incident form, and then we're back to a list of identity incidents in the list view, and that's what's new from CrowdStrike Inc. Alright, our next new application is going to be CryptoSpike Connector. Track your ProLion CryptoSpike events in ServiceNow. Key features for this new application: integrate CryptoSpike within ServiceNow to improve your security. Automatic incident creation from CryptoSpike events in ServiceNow. Let's take a look at the screenshots for this one. First up is an incident. Assuming it's from a CryptoSpike user for the caller, and then in the description you can see kind of the automated information coming from CryptoSpike. Next screenshot is showing the extension point of CryptoSpike integration utils. Scripted endpoint, I guess, is what that is, and it's showing some code on the screen. Next screenshot is a table transform map. Next screenshot is a user showing the CryptoSpike user, probably used for that integration. And then we're back to the incident record that I showed at the beginning. So that's what's new from the team at Avocado GmbH. Great name for a business. Next, new application, GRC Common Dashboard Elements. Support executive GRC dashboard reporting. Key features, metrics and indicators for integrated risk management, business continuity management, third-party risk management, and privacy management reports. Risk and compliance overview dashboard to view all the above reports, and a new functional domain, cybersecurity risk, to filter reports by data only pertaining to cybersecurity and risk. They've also got some screenshots. First one is the risk and compliance dashboard showing authority documents and policies. Next, showing risk posture and third-party risk posture, also on the risk and compliance dashboard. Next one is an entity overview and a list of entities. Next screenshot is the audit overview and a list of open and upcoming audit engagements. Next screenshot is the privacy overview showing the privacy compliance posture and a privacy risk heat map. And then we're back to the original first page of the dashboard for this new application. And that's what's new for the team at ServiceNow. Next new application is going to be Microsoft Azure OEM Translator Service Spoke, unlocking generative AI features for multilingual customers. Key features, generative AI features that make use of English-based LLMs will be made accessible for multilingual customers. Language detection and translation of multilingual customer input. No screenshots on this one, but this is from ServiceNow. I just noticed it's, I thought it was somebody else, but it is from the team at ServiceNow. Interesting logo there. It looks like a Amazon logo being converted to some other language, like script language. So cool logo there from the team at ServiceNow. Next one is also from ServiceNow, the migration utility for Service Operations Workspace. Utility to help migrate from legacy platforms to Service Operations Workspace. Key features, the release provides admins with a utility to step-by-step perform the migration from Agent Workspace to Service Operations Workspace. Using this utility, the admin will be able to select the customization to be migrated and then divide the migration task into smaller parts and execute the utility as often as needed. Note that once a customization is migrated, it cannot be migrated again. No screenshots for this one, but it is interesting. So we'll move on to the next one, which is also from ServiceNow, and I don't know why this is a new release. SAP S4 HANA Cloud Spoke. I feel like I've talked about this one a lot on this show anyways. Simplify and accelerate how you integrate with SAP S4 HANA OData Public Cloud. Key features, action highlights, look up cost center stream, look up company code stream, look up material stream, look up receipt stream, look up purchase order stream, look up suppliers, look up GL accounts, and COA stream. Two screenshots here. One is showing the spoke in Flow Designer and the actions that are available for this spoke. And the next screenshot is showing the action designer, listing the inputs and the steps in between and then the outputs. But it's on the action input screen showing page size, expand, filter, order by, and select properties. So that's what's new from the team at ServiceNow. Next up is also from ServiceNow, the Service Graph Connector for Azure API Gateway Integration. Integration with Azure API Gateway. Key features. Data will be populated into the following tables. I'm going to read the first prefix of the table. For those of you that are listening, it's CMDB-CI. You should know that one if you're familiar with the CMDB at all. And then the rest of the table name is like the class name. So let's go through it. Azure API MGMT, or management. Manage API. API frontend, API backend, API front-end API. There's some repeated stuff in here. And then the last table without the CMDB-CI prefix is API_consumer. No screenshots on this one, but it is an Innovation Lab offering and does not carry any warranties or have support associated with it. Next new release is from Juniper Networks, Service Graph Connector for Juniper MIST. Import and manage your Juniper network inventory with ServiceNow. Key features, MSPs and enterprise users benefit from the following. Synchronize inventory data between Juniper MIST and ServiceNow. It says the Juniper MIST, it looks like a typo. Provide visibility for all MIST connected network inventory, wired, wireless, SD-WAN, and security devices. Allow IT teams to see relationships across resources to predict, prevent, and resolve service outages faster. Delivers end-to-end network service, monitoring and alerting, and leverage Marvis actions to automatically open, update, or close ServiceNow incidents. Requirements. Users must have a Juniper MIST account. Users must generate an API token from MIST used by the ServiceNow to communicate with MIST, and users must have a MIST organization. We do have screenshots. They look really busy. First one is a list of wireless access points in a CMDB workspace view. Next is a list of IP switches. Next is a list of IP routers. Next is a list of Juniper firewall devices. Next is a IP switch record in the switch with routing view. Just basically a form view. Next screenshot is a relationship diagram showing how all that stuff relates to each other. Next screenshot is a list of incidents, a very large list of incidents. Next is a incident showing the color as SGC MIST, Service Graph Connector MIST, and then in the middle there, all the information coming in the description. And then we're back to our first screenshot of all the wireless access points. So that's what's new for the team at Juniper Networks Incorporated. Let's see, next up we have Mahindra netOps.now. Accelerate your customer's digital journey. Key features on the functional side: E2E telco solution with accelerators to fast-track transformation. Use of TechM's IP and solutions to enhance and provide telco-specific capabilities on top of standard platform, and leverage AI for operations and customer experience improvement, or CX improvement. Technical features: pre-integrated E2E solution built with ServiceNow's TMT platform. I think that's telecommunications, media, and technology. All integrations via TMF APIs. TMF, I don't know what TMF is. It'll come to me probably here eventually. Ensuring compliance to ODA, and automation and acceleration are key principles of the solution. No screenshots on this one, so that is what's new for the team at Mahindra MSP. Next new release is the Anticipate Experience Design. One unified portal, elevated, tailored, transformed. Key features on the functional side: one start shop for all employee needs, designed to scale and grow as your platform matures. Self-service enablement that surfaces accurate solutions quickly, enhancing process efficiency for your organization. Seamless support for every stage of the user experience. User analytics that provide actionable insights to inform future updates and decisions. On the technical side, amplifies the impact of your EC Pro upgrade with optimal performance. Implements best practices that avoid customization and technical debt. Enhances portal visuals and engagement with custom-built base templates for rich content, iconography, and other key elements. And it leverages the Anti's unique blend of consulting and technology expertise in HR, IT, and user experience to create a seamless and unified user experience. Where there is a video, we're going to skip the video. Let's check out this screenshot. First one is going to be Employee Center showing Welcome Abigail, and it's called Antidote. Lots of anti in this particular application. Next up is a new hire portal image saying Hi Alexis, but it's basically EC Employee Center. Next is showing the alumni portal page, and it's welcoming Marcus. Next one is a video. So we're not going to play any videos because you're either watching a video or listening to a podcast. But that's what's new for the team at the Anti. Next new release from ServiceNow is Tier 2 Data Offload Terms and Conditions. Terms and conditions to move data from primary database of an instance to a standalone Tier 2 storage. This is interesting. Allows customers to accept terms and conditions for offloading data from primary database of an instance to a standalone Tier 2 storage. I don't know what to make of this. Obviously, someone needed this. By downloading, installing, or using the asset software materials made available by... It's in legal updated terms and conditions is the screenshot. So, yeah, I don't know much about this one. It's interesting. I probably wasn't supposed to see it, but I crawl the store, so I see everything that's new, and therefore, so do you. And one more new release is going to be from VMRay Inc. VMRay for Security Incident Response, automated analysis, detection, and triage of advanced threats. Key features: automation with security operations to sandbox and analyze malware and phishing threats, get results from malware analysis to prioritize threats facing the business, ingest indicators from analyze files, URLs, and emails for SOC, CERT, and CTI teams to understand threats, and alert validation and enrichment generated by EDR, network, and phishing events from VMRay's Malware Analysis Sandbox. Lots of words in there that I don't know what they are. First screenshot is a dynamic analysis report of something that's malicious. Next screenshot is an overview showing some scores, categories, operations, count, and classification. Next screenshot is a diagram or a dynamic analysis report for behavior, and then a process graph, so showing some interesting stuff. Next screenshot is a list of artifacts in the dynamic analysis report. And next screenshot is a list of observables. and then we're back to the original malicious dynamic analysis report that I showed at the beginning. And that's what's new from the team at VMRay Incorporated. And that's our new releases. So it leaves us with our highlights. We have 30 of them, so it might take us a little longer than normal to get through them, but let's go ahead and knock it out. First up, AI Ops. What was that? AI Ops Experience updated to version 24.2.3. And in this one, there is a new alert timeline view, link view, free text search alerts, keyboard interactions, connector health KPIs. They've changed restyled alert panel, display time format according to user preferences, and they fixed alert auto refresh issues. We'll just move on quickly to the next one since we've got a bunch. Alert Assist is updated to version 2. In this version, alert group analysis help users to understand the context of the group and have a technical analysis at the alert group level. They classified it as a major release. I thought it was pretty interesting functionality, having Now Assist stuff coming into the Alert Assist. So that was pretty neat for ITOM. Next updated application is going to be Aptio, Service Total Cost of Ownership, or TCO, updated version 1.0.2. And in this enhanced version of the original scoped app, they've removed the previous dependency on old ITFM plugins. Significant expansion of service TCO data and insights creates a dedicated Aptio TCO tab that seamlessly scales with their DPM enterprise portfolio and facilitates end-to-end collaboration via a link back from ServiceNow into deeper reporting views in Aptio shape. Next update, or next what I call this highlights, chat summarization for virtual agent, updated version 1.3.5. And in this one, they've included domain separation support. Admin can now control skill availability, can be defined by adding conditions using the columns of the interaction table using Now Assist Admin. Call summarization config type support. They fixed some localization issues, and save and continue not working when updating portals has been fixed. Let's see, the next highlight here is going to be from Checkmarx. Checkmarx 1 vulnerability integration, updated to version 1.0.21. And this version, the application list integration will import projects created on CX1 after the start time provided in execution. Projects can be filtered by ID or name in a configuration page. The scan origin, scan type, and scan source information from CX1 is mapped to scan submitted by column of the SN vol app vol scan summary table. On selection of primary branch checkbox projects, latest scans and its result will be imported if primary branch is not present in CX1, or primary branch scans and its results will be imported. Fix for high disk growth of sys update version table, and addition of a SCA Delta's result API. Risks that have been closed or marked as not exploitable in SCA will appear as closed in ServiceNow. All right, let's move on to the next highlight. It's going to be CMDB CI class models, updated version of 1.57.0, and I am not going to try to read all this, but you can see the gist of it is there is newly introduced dental equipment models, newly introduced operational equipment model, newly introduced DNS model, CMDB model updates for the API and API component, a wireless sector, a unit of cellular coverage area, it's like radio bands, U-Trans cell global identifier, and transmission technology, antenna phase, carrier number, antenna structure is something new, battery distribution fuse panel, radio network controller, transmission control unit, voice switch, and there's two fixes. Fix the CMDB correctness dashboard for the printer CIs and their corresponding certificates, and added missing class descriptions for certain mainframe, medical device, and T&I classes. Next highlight is going to be Connect Quick, updated version 4.1.0, and in this version, alerts can be raised on any table from integration errors with the payload mapped to the table. Emails can be sent to a specified mailbox, errors are indexed to prevent floods of error messages based on the selected conditions, and mappings can also be used to enrich the alert. There's some more stuff there for previous versions, so check that out if you're interested. Next highlight is going to be the Coupa Spoke, updated version 4.3.0, and in this version, this is technically a fail. They've added 13 actions, but they could not be bothered with listing out what these new 13 actions are. Thanks, ServiceNow team. Next up is going to be the Cybersecurity Executive Dashboard, updated version 2.1.3, and in this version, the GRC metrics integration is new, enhanced user experience, operational technology metrics, and accurate and reliable metrics. There's a lot more text there if you're watching, if you're listening, so you may want to go check out the details of those release notes for the Cybersecurity Executive Dashboard. Next highlight is going to be Digital Portfolio Management, updated version 5.2.2, and in this version they've created phase 1 of the Digital Portfolio Management Admin Center. Provides administrators
A guided walkthrough as they set up and configure the DPM workspace for the organization, includes the overview and settings tabs, provides the necessary plugins and visibility in the end-to-end service and application lifecycle, and accessible from the ServiceNow Admin Configuration Hub. There's some changes. They replaced the DPM custom relationship map with the global ServiceNow unified CI map, added default tooltips to PAR visualizations for all KPI description fields. Admins have the option to remove the default tooltips, and the KPI latest score is set to be true for new and zboot customers, removing the former sum and average fields on the KPI records. There is also a couple of fixes, more than a couple, a good handful of fixes that you may be interested in, and nothing was removed in this release. Next highlight's going to be Flexera 1, updated version 1.3.404. And this has a new Flexera 1 app for IT visibility. Current version of Flexera ServiceNow 1 app includes the following new capabilities, as well as a number of resolved issues. Hardware specifications enrichment pack data available in ServiceNow. The new attributes included, or there's two new data sets, hardware model profile and hardware model power, and the new attributes include volume, depth max, height max, weight max, width max, AC power max / AC voltage low min, and is energy star. Looks like they called it a minor release, but there was a bunch in there. I thought it was worth highlighting that one. Next up is going to be GRC Business Impact Analysis, updated version 6.1.3. And in this version, they've added a feature to configure BIA dependencies using UI policies, added feature to configure BI dependencies using element variables, added feature to configure BIA dependencies using dictionary updates, added fix script to fix existing data after metadata change, update the dependency assessment UI page to support BIA dependency changes. There's a security fix for Glide record encoded query, and then remove the mandatory validation for RRTO. That was a mouthful. Next is GRC Crisis Management, updated to version 6.1.3, and in this version they've added Event Task Automation Framework, added new states for event tasks to support failure mode, added retrigger for manual or automatic event tasks, added bulk edit support for event tasks, added email notification for event task automation flow. They've made event tasks editable for close state, and they fixed a security defect for Glide record encoded query, kind of like the last one we just saw. Next highlight is going to be HR Service Delivery Advanced Integration with Workday, updated version 1.2.2, and the delivered integrations between ServiceNow, HR Service Delivery, and Workday application include the following experiences: legal name change, a VA conversation, request time off, payroll discrepancy, total rewards widget, and a holiday calendar widget. Next highlight is going to be also HR Service Delivery integration, but with Cornerstone On Demand, updated version 1.1.5. In this version, you can assign learning tasks to employees in Cornerstone On Demand, sync users, learning courses, and transcripts from Cornerstone, and present them as employee to-dos in the employee portal, and seamlessly navigate, access, and complete learning courses between Cornerstone On Demand and ServiceNow. Next highlight is going to be the Illumio app for CMDB, updated version 2, and in this version they've added support for multiple Illumio PCE configuration and arbitrary label dimensions, added support for label dimension creation and updation, I don't think updation's a word, is it? Creation and updates, added support of advanced script and field mappings, added configuration to cancel or proceed with limited records if threshold is reached, updated dashboard with multiple Illumio configuration and arbitrary label dimensions, and Venn information data support, added support for cancel the scheduled job and incident creation, and added ServiceNow spokes to make PCE API calls. Next highlight is going to be Juniper MIST automated provisioning, updated version 1.6.0. And in this one, there's a bunch of new actions. I'm not going to try to read these, but I'll give you the highlights: device upgrades, SSR upgrades, configuration. Let's scroll down, and that's it. So 3 buckets of new actions, and there's a good handful of actions in each of those buckets. So you may want to check that out if you're interested in this Juniper MIST automated provisioning application. Next highlight is the Now Assist for code generation, updated version 26.0.4. Generate code from text using the Code with Now Assist dialog box. Tell Now Assist what code to generate by opening the Code with Now Assist dialog box from a script editor and describing what you want the script to do. Code completion is off by default. Turn on generating scripts from code and script editors with the SN Now Assist code.enable promptless experience system property, and there are several bug fixes in this update. Next highlight is Now Assist in AI Search, updated version 6.3.1. There's experience improvements, carousel display for multiple Genius result answers, retrieval quality improvements, external content Q&A from Microsoft SharePoint Online, and support for catalog item retrieval for non-English queries using dynamic translation. And the last on this page of highlights is the Now Assist in Virtual Agent, updated version 4.1.4. They have some fixes. Let's go ahead and focus on what's new. Unified search experience in Now Assist VA, support carousel of cards, plus some user experience enhancements, support configure and async VA search, handle display, feedback and action on search results, support feedback on all controls for LLM conversations, add support for unified search in VA Designer test/preview mode, add support for topic categories in LLM conversations, support card header for static and dynamic choice, trigger unified skill search API, skill applicability support, add LLM support for carousel of NDS cards, one-page admin setup experience for Now Assist and AI search, support async Genius results, SharePoint content, and Now Assist Q&A. There's some changes, miscellaneous updates for Now Assist and VA guided setup, updates skill search capability for catalog items plus remove slot filling, initial and mid-skill discovery, sure/unsure paths, greater than, new unified discovery processor system topic. That is a sentence I have no idea what it means. And they removed, deprecated the unusable capability definitions and the VA date time normalizer. Whew. That was the biggest mouthful so far of anything. Let's go to page number 2 of our highlights. Only 10 left, it looks like. Next one is going to be performance analytics for vulnerability response, updated version 12.13.5. And they've deprecated the following dashboards: application vulnerability management PA, my application vulnerabilities, container vulnerability management, and the CISO dashboard. Next highlight is Process X, updated version 3. And in this version, wow, auto start property, enhanced sign off, allow revision property, reopen action items, approval/rejection comment tracking, task rejection comments, new signature meaning, improved approval task form, CI attribute table, data-driven application lifecycle management/validation lifecycle management project, and one end-to-end digitized workflow from initiation through completion, and use dynamic workflow automation to generate the related events and tasks required for your specific project based on the type of project you are working on, and some bug fixes. Another mouthful, and I got through that okay. Next up, it's going to be Quality Management System, or EQMS, updated version 7.5.1. And on the new side of things, meaning required, user membership, new out-of-the-box business processes. On updates and improvements, there's a copy record mechanism, file attachments, QF administration, additional roles, and a new workflow visualization method. As far as bug and issue fixes, the create a quiz or menu module, UI actions, schedule jobs, and QF master data admin role. There's a lot more text there if you're listening, so go check that out if you're interested in learning more. Next up is the Service Operations Workspace Express List, updated version 23.2.1. In this version, they have the alert timeline view, link view, free text search of alerts, keyboard interactions. They've changed, restyled the alert panel, display time format according to user preferences, and they fixed an alert auto refresh issue. I think the next 3 are going to be very similar to that, so let's just open up the Service Operations Workspace Express List app 23.2.0. Oh, that's weird. It is not the same. As part of the release, Express List will install a few new features: timeline for alert groups, and then there's an image that is not coming through if you're listening, link view, and another image that didn't come through, free text search and another image, keyboard shortcuts and another image, and support custom time format. That's kind of like a release notes fail, but not like a fail. It's kind of like a, man, I wish we had the screenshots. I've never seen screenshots in release notes before, so that's interesting. Service Operations Workspace ITOM apps, updated version 24.2.3. Oh, and this one is the exact same list. I knew one of these were similar, so there you go. A repeated list of that application. Next one, Service Operations Workspace Link View, which was one of the features from the previous one, updated version 24.0.2, and in this one, supports rule-based alert groups, supports CNDB alert groups, including a new link, edge, type, correlation, link, and enrichment of topology data from the CNDB, added impacted service for all supported group types, added badge on CIs that have been flagged with PRC changes. They've changed the node types colors, and they've removed the badge for new attributes nodes on the map after a manual refresh of the map. All right, getting to the bottom here, SOW alert automation. updated version 0.1.5, so we haven't got the version 1 yet. New, enrich, extract, and compose alert output field synchronization, escalate and notify outbound webhook action, changed, one page view for creating or editing an automation is replacing two steps process, flow names are changed, add service context is renamed to enrich, and group alerts is renamed to group. And that's it. That's what's new in that application. Success Dashboard Core was updated version 6.0.3, and in this version, the display KPIs in either list or card view. This is new stuff, by the way. Download KPI list reports in PDF format. Ability to filter data by type of industry, number of users, MSPs, or geographic region. Color-coded KPI comparison. View 6 months of historical KPI data, and display time values in hours or days is the new features in that release. And our last highlight is Workspace or Workplace Service Delivery for Mobile, updated version 1.12.0. And this one, in the new category, search for spaces based on the standard services or their location purpose. What's changed, viewing related items will now also show the reserved space when only one space is part of the reservation. Fixed, floor criteria were still considered in the search results of available spaces when the criteria were removed while managing an existing reservation. That has been fixed. Employees could try to reserve a space for longer than the maximum allowed duration after scanning a QR code. That has been fixed. And the building field does not default when using the Browse Favorites option. And that has been fixed. And that is our highlights, everybody, which also means that is our entire episode. I went fast, but hopefully that was helpful to you, getting all those two episodes combined into one. What you just saw or heard, I'm just going to review it one more time. 13 new releases, 30 highlights, 8 compatibility updates, 95 minor updates, 1 ghost or removed application, 84 fixes, and 29 release notes fails. I hope you found this video or podcast helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share with somebody who you think might be interested in what's new, what got updated, or what got removed from the ServiceNow store. And don't forget to check out my blog post at https://justin.house. Look for this episode, SSH version 06212024, and you'll have a full listing of all the applications in their categories with hyperlinks to the ServiceNow store. And don't forget to always be learning.